Y'all don't know how many times I tried to film this video, okay? What's up, all my cool cats and kittens? It's McKenna, and today I'm gonna be— just kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. We're black. We don't do that. What's good? What's poppin'? What's cooking? What's the word? You know what I'm saying? What's up, guys? It's your girl McKenna.
Mac attack, Mac is back, Mac not whack, Mac is black.
And I'm feeling extra black today because what we're gonna be talking about is
talking black.
What it means to talk black. What the heck is that? What does that even mean, y'all? What it do? What it be? I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. Y'all, talking black is not a thing. It doesn't exist. I think what a lot of people are referring to when they say talking black is speaking in AAVE. And AAVE is African American Vernacular English, also known as Black Vernacular, which is a dialect that was created and primarily is used by Black communities in the United States. So a lot of people speak AAVE, especially in Black and brown neighborhoods, and y'all know you hear it in the movies, you hear it in music, you hear it like outside, you hear it wherever, you hear it on TV, you hear it in every single sitcom where there's literally one Black person and the Black person just keeps saying,
"What up? What's good? Y'all, what's going on?"
So let's break that down and we gonna talk about it, because that's what we do here. We talk about things, you know what I'm saying? We talk. AAVE has been studied by scholars and educators for years now, but there's a lot of controversy surrounding whether or not it's worth saying, worth mentioning, worth stating that AAVE is real. It's a real and valid language that deserves recognition and time. Time to learn, time to understand, time to study. So first, when it comes to AAVE, there's two views that we're going to talk about today. So the first view is the deficit view, and the second is the difference view. So people who believe in the deficit view believe that AAVE negatively affects its users. These are people who are educators, who are teachers, who are looking at their students and their Black students who are speaking AAVE in school, and they're saying like,
y'all are talking kind of funny and your literacy scores are kind of poor, like you're not doing so well in school, so that must be because y'all speaking that thing right there, you know what I'm saying? You speaking that AAVE, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna read a quote from Yvette R. Harris, and she wrote a lot about AAVE and how we view AAVE in the 21st century, and she said that historically children speaking AAVE were believed to have deficient language skills, as they consistently underperformed on standardized tasks and assessments compared to a normative population of white middle-class children. So y'all, people who are thinking about the deficit view are thinking that people who speak AAVE are doing worse on their tests, their standardized tests and their standardized assignments. And y'all, the difference view is for my scholars and my educators who believe that AAVE is a real language and it should be treated as such. And it shouldn't be labeled as something that's inferior to SAE, rather something that's just a different speech pattern. It's a different dialect. They say, according to Ms. Harris, say that rather than assessing how AAVE speakers may differ, however, such programs, the programs that believe in the difference view, focus on awareness of differing languages or dialects and recognize AAVE as an additional language or a culturally rich dialect. This awareness allows educators to instead assess proficiency of SAE use as a standalone concept while encouraging the use of the student's primary language. Therefore, rather than assessing language AAVE literacy skill deficits or differences, it is suggested that educators instead focus on assessing SAE literacy skills. The difference view is superior. There's a big miscommunication, as we have seen, between people who believe in the deficit view and people who believe in the difference view when it comes to using AAVE. This can have a big impact on Black youth and Black children who are speaking AAVE at home and then they want to speak it at school. Okay, so when these Black kids are young and their teachers are telling them, and when it comes to the deficit view, that what they're speaking at home is not correct and it's weird and
ghetto,
they grow up and they believe that like we can only speak AAVE in certain settings, and certain settings are off limits for speaking AAVE. After being told that your language isn't legitimate and that you're doing worse in school because you're speaking a language that I don't understand, because that's essentially what the deficit view is saying, a lot of Black people go on in life and suffer discrimination for speaking AAVE. Black people who speak AAVE in work, in school, and interviews definitely are at risk for facing discrimination and even being punished for their use of the language. My boy John R. Rickford, who wrote a wonderful article titled Neighborhood Effects on the Use of African American Vernacular English, even said that AAVE can trigger discrimination in the workplace, housing market, and schools. Understanding what shapes the relative use of AAVE versus standard American English is important for policy and scientific reasons. Many people who hold the deficit view believe that AAVE is ghetto, or it's weird, or it's improper English, or some crap like that. Well, they don't believe this for no reason. The concept of ghetto is often associated with Blackness, and AAVE is primarily used in less advantaged neighborhoods. My boy Rickford conducted a study in which he found that more Black children use AAVE in less advantaged neighborhoods. So there becomes an association between lower socioeconomic status with the use of AAVE. If y'all haven't caught on by now, the deficit view is simply another way to criticize Blackness. Some people even believe that Black students are performing poorly or worse than their white counterparts who speak standard American English.
Because they're poor.
People consistently label Black children who speak AAVE as uneducated, poor little children who don't know how to speak proper English. That's wrong. Although some scholars believe that AAVE is only spoken in less advantaged neighborhoods, or that users of AAVE were brought up in the hood,
that's incorrect.
I use AAVE and I was born and raised in white suburbs my entire life. And though some studies may find that AAVE is used more here and is used less here, AAVE is a part of Black culture. Of course, the fact that AAVE is a part of Black culture presents a beautiful, glorious opportunity for cultural appropriation. Yes, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's go. Oh. Guys, y'all already know what I'm talking about. Any person of color knows what cultural appropriation is and how it affects our communities. Like, y'all already know what it is. I don't really need to explain it to you, but for my viewers here who are trying to get educated, shout out to you for, first of all, clicking on this video in the first place. Like, y'all rock for, trying to, learn something for yourself. Like, go ahead, sis, bro, whoever you are, because we don't know, I don't know what your gender is, so you know what? Props to you, my dude.
My dude, that's gender neutral.
Cultural appropriation is, as we have all seen before, when somebody who's not a part of your culture, your ethnicity, or your race tries to adopt elements of your culture to
look good, make themselves feel better, because I think it's cool, because I think it's trendy.
The worst part is that these people who cultural appropriate for a living are praised for it every single day. Y'all know I'm talking about the Kim Kardashians of the world.
Kim, seriously, people are dying.
Y'all know I'm talking about the people who play steel drums in the back of their pop songs because what?
You went to the islands once.
Cute, right? Y'all think it's cute? Okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. Cultural appropriation doesn't end with clothing or hair or music. In fact, that's only where it begins. Cultural appropriation seeps into every aspect of someone's culture, including language. That means AAVE is at risk for being culturally appropriated. The writer of an article on Babel magazine titled, "Is Cultural Appropriation to Use Drag Slang in AAVE?" said, and I quote, "Years before Twitter taught us what it means to be woke, companies were desperate to seem cool and down with the kids, so they teamed up with hip-hop stars to run campaigns that proved wildly unsuccessful. With the rise of social media, corporations have a window into dialects that they otherwise couldn't have accessed." AAVE is obviously really popular in the media. A lot of people use it because they want to seem cool or trendy. But remember those black people who invented it, who get, you know, slammed every day and called ghetto and don't know how to speak English and don't get the job because they're speaking AAVE? Oh yeah, those people?
Our people?
Right. That's why cultural appropriation is a problem. Another quote from that same article is, "The point is AAVE, when used by African American people, is often associated with undesirable parts of society like poverty, drugs, violence, and gangs. But when corporations or white people use it, they are co-opting its cool potential for their own gain and giving nothing back to the community that created it." Yeah. So what we're talking about here is the white girls on TikTok who are, you know, using voiceovers from black people who are speaking AAVE, or just going on YouTube and just using AAVE, or typing on Twitter, like going on Twitter with your Twitter fingers and using AAVE, talking about what's good, what's up, okay sis, like wow, like fire, like,
saw what Becky posted. She ain't got nothing on you though, girl.
you know, all of these things that black people invented that they get called ghetto for using. We're talking about those people, and we're talking about cultural appropriation. An article by the Huffington Post titled "These Were 2018's Hottest Slang Words, but Should You Use Them?" says, here's some questions to ask before using a word with origins in black culture. Is it being commercialized for financial gain? Is the usage performative or tokenizing? Are you in proximity to the culture that originated the term? Are you using the language to level up or earn yourself street cred? These questions are really important to consider, because if the answer is yes,
Then you're cultural appropriating.
you are appropriating a part of black culture that black people are getting.
Well, they're not getting much.
They're being discriminated against. If you're cultural appropriating, you need to stop. The words in AAVE are used to express black experience and black culture and black life and what it means to be a part of the black community. Black people who speak any other dialect that isn't standard American English are put at risk for being labeled as less than or being discriminated against. Therefore, a lot of these people tend to want to code switch. And code switching is basically switching up your dialect when you're around certain people so that you don't get discriminated against, or because those people don't understand what you're saying, or because it's just something for you and your community to enjoy. While black people are busy censoring themselves, non-black people are going to social media and taking that language and making it trendy for their own benefit. I'm gonna give y'all some examples of AAVE cultural appropriation. Let's talk about Bad Baby, or however you pronounce that girl's name. I think it's Bad Baby. She has been doing the absolute most, you guys. Oh my gosh. This is a girl who said, "Catch me outside." How about that? That is a prime example of cultural appropriation by the means of AAVE, by the means of language. Let's also talk about your girl Ariana Grande. I know a lot of y'all love Ariana Grande, but 7 Rings, the lyrics in 7 Rings.
You like my hair? Do things. Just bought it.
Stop.
Non-black people don't only appropriate AAVE. Non-black people appropriate other black dialects such as Jamaican patois. I'm talking about Chet Hanks.
Big up to the islands.
This dude literally went online and started speaking in patois, and then he continued to do it. That is a prime example of cultural appropriation, my dude. I know y'all are tired of hearing me talk about AAVE and messing up the acronym because my mouth doesn't move that fast. AAVE. You try saying that 10 times fast, okay? Dang. I'm just trying to spread some awareness about how this is a two-way street. One side of the street, black people are literally suffering because they can't speak their own language in public. And on the other side, white people are doing really well because they make everything trendy. Before you speak, just think about what it is that's about to come out of your mouth, because the very words that you might be saying at this very moment in time, somebody might be getting fired for, or might be doing worse on a test for, or might be getting racially profiled for, or might be getting discriminated against for. Just think about your words. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope y'all learned something. I hope you can go and tell your neighbor. I hope you can go and tell your mama, you go and tell your sister, you go and tell your pops. Go and tell the little white girl down the street who keeps saying,
How about that? How about that? What's good? What's popping? Whatever. Just go tell her. Just go knock on her door right now. Just go knock on her door right now and be like, girl, stop saying sis.
I hope to see y'all next week when I'm going to be talking about why Black people are late for literally everything. Love. What's up, YouTube? What's good? Oh my god. Okay, let me just talk to y'all real quick. For Black people to speak in AAVE and white people can go about... Okay, look, this is not a rant session. Let me cut that back. I've had it up to here. Did you guys know I'm double jointed? I'm literally talking like this is going anywhere, but I know only... I don't know who's watching this video right now. Probably just my professor. But I'm gonna keep talking like I'm talking to 700,000 subscribers because I'm annoying. Because words are heavy. I'm gonna leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? I'm so glad this is done and over with. It's 3 o'clock. I'm going to bed.